G-I-G-G-S. No. Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at? It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month. I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy Carragher per card to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up.
Don't unplug anything. Let's go. Clap hands there. Sinker. Professional, see? Add it in because it could be a
t-shirt in the way.
Yes, indeed.
Did you raise yours?
I know. You had to do that, didn't you?
I brought mine.
He brought his. Podcast Nation. You can do it now for Rhodri Giggs and Rhodri Giggs on Football Friday 7:30.
I'll just start it.
What's happening?
You froze? Oh, he's only going to froze. He's going to have to come out and come back in again. He froze and had to come back out, which is a first. It's on both screens. You just have to wait a minute, whoever's, I don't know, he has that info, but he'll be on in a minute. Don't know what's happened.
Hey guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation. I'm on my phone for a second because I don't know what happened then, but my computer went all loopy. So I left Rodri on his own. I could see you, and you were going, "Is he on? Is he froze? Is he gone? Is he here?" I am here. We are episode number 14. This is Rhodri Giggs and Football. My computer just decided it'd be a bit weird, but we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. The joys of being live, I suppose. Ace Podcast Nation are your home to many a great show and series featuring top guests, expert analysts, and more. So please do give us a subscribe, follow on social media, all that good stuff. Really helps us out. Drop a like on the video, all that good stuff. If you prefer your podcast in audio form, we're all part of the Sports Social Podcast Network. Every single show produced by Ace Podcast Nation, you'll find there. And I finally sorted out my problem with Apple, so all of our podcasts are also on Apple now, which helps us out a lot because that was becoming an issue for me. Just as I wait for my computer to boot up and stuff, I'll give you a little update on the Super Six. We had the highest weekly scorer ever this week, and you'll be surprised to know it was not me. Krista Riches topped the round with a massive 24 points. That is an unbelievable effort. Jackie Melhuish had a great week, coming second on 17. And then Reece Iverson is the first player to reach 200 points, tops the overall league. Owain Jones had a good week, has moved into the final
24
playoff.
points. He's got every single one right there, hasn't he?
Yeah, they must have got pretty much everything spot on.
Two right results.
Yeah, something like that. Like Willie Boland topped the Celebrity League. Lee Jarman's close after. I finished 1 point ahead of Rhodri this week, which takes my lead to a massive 23 points, almost unassailable at this point. Rhodri is also the only celebrity who is not on 100 points yet, but he did miss the first 5 weeks. So we'll let him off
you
there.
miss that out. You miss that out, don't you? You should put that at the start, not at the end.
Yes, I'm just going to switch over, mate, a minute. 2 seconds. Right. Yeah. Let's go. I apologise to everyone. It's just one of them things going live. It's not too late to join the Celebrity Super 6 League. Join it all. If you do Super 6 anyway, contact Will Melhuish. Links in the description for the Facebook group. And he'll add you in and stuff. And you can test your knowledge against all the various ex-footballers and stuff like that. Rodri, myself, Andy Campbell, all that good stuff. But of course, I'm joined as ever by Mr. Rhodri Giggs. How are you, mate? That was a weird start.
Yeah, you need to start off by saying I missed 5 weeks, not at the end.
Just not like added in just at the end sort of thing. Just make sure I make it clear.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it was making a difference, mate. With my average going up each
I'll
week.
get there. I'm just I'm in a group chat now. I'm in Fantasy Premier League, and I started off really badly, but now I've just come into third, and I'm it's a marathon and not a sprint.
Yes, that's it, mate. We'll see. I'm starting to get a bit of steam now. Like I've got like the last couple of points.
Here we go.
I've had 2 good weeks now, isn't it? 2 good weeks in a row. So that's form, that is, I say. But there we go. It is what it is. We've got so much to talk about, mate, football-wise this week. I just don't even know where to start. I feel like the Ballon d'Or conversation is going to be quite a long one, and I think some people won't agree with what I'm going to say about it. But we'll have a look at that and some of the contenders and whatnot. We'll have a look at the Premier League. But I wanted to sort of start off just by paying a bit of tribute to Phil Dwyer, who sadly passed away, Cardiff City, Wales legend. And by all accounts, you speak to anyone, one of the nicest people you'll come to meet. Really sad to see that. Apart from the fact that he's a Cardiff, a Wales legend. I think I met him once down the football and like had time for everyone. Just a really, really nice guy. And that was a loss which was felt. You could see like there was an outpouring of social media posters, particularly in like the sort of Cardiff City Welsh fans and stuff. Seemed like a very respected guy. And I'm just really sad to see that. And I'd like to dedicate tonight's show to Phil. But did you ever come across Phil Dwyer, Rodri, over the years, mate?
No.
Yeah,
anyway.
He's one of those ones where everybody, like a lot of Cardiff fans as well. I noticed on social media this week, he said like they'd run into him, down Ninian Park or Cardiff City Stadium, and he'd always have a lot of time for people, asking questions, talking to people. And I think those sorts of ex-players already, they're like kind of loved from their playing days. And then when they're so approachable and friendly and stuff, and they got time for people, I think that really kind of almost adds to the love that people feel for him, innit?
Yeah, suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, though, over 500 games for Cardiff. Oh, 500 games made for Cardiff. So
yeah, no, it's a lot of games that for one team. Shame.
Yeah, yeah, sad, mate. It really is. So yeah, Phil Dwyer dedicated tonight. I just 68. Yeah, so he's I saw a post from his daughter on Facebook. and she said like the outpouring of love and all the posts that she'd seen from like Cardiff fans and stuff had really kind of given the family like a bit of a lift, and which is obviously a very, very difficult time. So that was like at least something nice which sort of come out of it, that they were able to get a little bit of comfort, but I'm sure it's not a great deal of comfort, unfortunately. But it's been I don't know. We'll start with Cardiff, mate, because me and you had a brief conversation over text with Cardiff. They seem to have they got a home problem, because they seem to be a different team away.
Well, we talked about this before. You've got a young team, and when the team is not playing to its maximum, the crowd get on the backs, and maybe that's affecting the young team. And away, the away fans, as you know, are fully supportive and singing all through the game, and they probably get that release. I'm not sure. It's the only thing I can think of, because really it should be the other way around. But when you've got a young team and they go away like that, and it's just different kind of pressures, and maybe they're handling it better. I don't know. It's a strange one.
Like Donna in the chat there, so she says it's just a lack of support at home. She goes week in, week out. She says that I do think it's a possibility. I think the fan, it's a weird one, because I think the fans are happy now Morrison's in terms of they prefer him to Mick McCarthy and Neil Harris and all these guys, but they're still not happy with the board and the things behind the scenes. So I think that is meaning that there's a big chunk of people who are not going week in, week out. The stands are kind of, which used to be full, are not full. The atmosphere in Cardiff City Stadium is not as good as because it's that new stadium, and the way they set it out, where they put the away fans is next to the family stand, which means you don't get the kind of banter back and forth between the two loudest parts of the stadium, because they're at opposite ends, and it's all a bit not set up for the best atmosphere, in my opinion. And Cardiff have they just not quite at it, but getting there. Another championship story I really wanted to talk about. There's a couple, actually. First and foremost, obviously we had Sheffield United's player collapsed. I've forgotten his first name. Fleck collapsed in training. This worrying. Scotland international John Fleck. He had collapsed on the pitch during the game on Wednesday, and he's back in training. Sorry. He was discharged the following day. And it's not. There's been a few athletes around the world, players going down recently, which is a bit of a worrying sight. But obviously, we wish him a speedy recovery, mate. I also saw Christian Eriksen's back in training with a local club.
I missed that last bit, man.
I just said Christian Eriksen's training with like a local football club, I think. I don't think he's going to make...
You know what? It's a strange one, because, yes, we have that Fabrice Muamba, and we've had three of it. I think Mark, Vivian Foley.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously Christian Eriksen, but none, as recent and as much as this.
Someone
I would like to know. I would really like to know if all these people have been vaccinated. If they haven't, then But if
I know John Fleck, I think, hasn't been. I think was the statement put out. But
that's a good thing, because it can't be connected to the vaccine, which is good.
Yeah, because there was someone on social media put that up straight away. They were like, in fairness, they listed all the athletes around the world, mate, from different sports over the last 18 months who've kind of collapsed out of the blue. And when you kind of put them all in a row, it's a lot. But of course, the world is a very big place, and you're talking from like,
it's a lot extreme now. The training, 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't so intense. All the science and all that, so they're pushing the body to the limit, and it's obviously affecting some people differently, and we're getting all these cardiac arrests. And you know, I played with a lad out in Holland who's a big advocate of defibrillators being put all around the country. He's been on Sky Sports. He's been on now. His brother died many years ago now. He might survive. So yeah, it's important to have these defibrillators, and because not everyone has them. Just at grassroots football, you know, I taught this when I did my first aid recently at Swansea, and it's so important to have these defibrillators and how to access them and to know where the nearest one is if you haven't got one at the club, because there are some actually out there in, like, not post boxes, but like telephone boxes, which I didn't even know, which you can go online and see where they are in your local area. But yeah, it's just a worrying something that needs to be looked at, because there's a lot recently.
Yeah, 100%. There's defibrillators in at Cardiff. Actually, that was something which happened in the last couple of weeks. They should, to me, every professional football club should have them. But I also believe
they have all professional ones, but I'm talking about, you know, semi-professional, grassroots, kids.
Yeah, everywhere should have them.
Yeah, so
should be a law, shouldn't it?
Every club should have them, and it should be just a rule that, you know, if you haven't got a defibrillator, you can't play football. So, and then that pretty sort the issue out.
Yeah, and like I think it was Donna just said, you've seen a few spectators having, you know, cardiac arrests and stuff recently. There was the one was in Newcastle earlier in the season where they stopped the game. But there's been a few.
One at Southampton. There's two this week, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was one at Southampton, but obviously the Newcastle one, Newcastle Arsenal, I think it was earlier in the season, or Spurs maybe. So yeah, it's worrying, mate.
They're really easy to use, these defibrillators. You know, that they're not. It's not really difficult to use. Everything's, you know, mapped out on it. It's really easy. So what you're worried about, it just takes you through it step by step.
There you go.
Really.
Craig says Watford, Southampton, same night.
Yeah,
so you were right. There was two this week.
Yeah, which is
scary, mate. Scary, mate, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, look at this. The Wanderer returns. Gavin Randall, welcome back, my friends. I haven't seen you for a few weeks. The Wanderer returns. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we all want people to be safe and all that sort of stuff. To having a defibrillator, I think, should be, like you say, should be made a law, a rule, whereby if you have a club, particularly if you've got spectators. Yeah,
standard. About 100 odd quid, and for that to save someone's life, you know, and it's really, really easy to use, and, you know, save lives.
100%, mate. Sticking with the Championship, I saw someone earlier this week question whether Wayne Rooney is doing a good job at Derby County. And do you know what, mate? I chuckled to myself massively, because I was like, how many points they had deducted already so far? 12 or something? And they've had, you know, they've got that deficit back. And while we were not even Christmas time. Yes, they're bottom of the league.
We live in a world where people are going to have an opinion on everything, it's good or bad. To say Wayne Rooney, who's a novice manager, a great player, brilliant player, but a novice manager, has gone into a place like that, and what has happened, he could have easily gone, you know what, I don't need this crap, I'm off. He's not doing anything, and he's put in some good performances against good teams. Bournemouth, he beat them. Fulham, they got a result against them if it was a draw, but, you know, these are top sides. You know, if it wasn't for that 21 deduction, they'd be up there. So to say Wayne Rooney hasn't done a good job is just
remarkable, mate.
Farcical, absolute farcical. And the guy's an idiot. Whoever said it is an idiot.
And do you know what? As well, the thing is with Rooney, like, you're right. He could have washed his. As soon as they went into administration, he had an out. He had an excuse where he could leave. And also,
he has earned so much. Sorry to interrupt, but he has earned so much money. His house is absolutely unbelievable. It's just been built. took about 5 years. But he's dripping in money, and he don't need the money. He don't need this crap. But you know, he's a fighter. He's obviously got a soft affection for the place, and he's sticking around. And you know, the County are lucky to have a Wayne Rooney because he could just get on his toes and get a job like that. But no, he's sticking around, and you can see, like, you know, I can do this. We can stay up, and if he does that, then you know that'd be unbelievable to get from a 21-point deduction.
Yeah, if they
You know,
stay up,
with a
he's
limited
manager of the year.
number of players, like I say, a novice manager. Oh yeah, it's unbelievable. It's probably his best achievement. When you play, I've won leagues playing football, won cups. It's not the same as being a manager. It's just not. It's just football. You just turn up, you play. You know, but manager, there's a lot of stuff goes into it. There's a lot of details and a lot of things that go into it. Like I say, and it just more. It just does. I don't know why. It just does.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting if they can hold on to all their players in January, because obviously they do need money. It's going to be an interesting one. To me, if Derby County stay up, if they at the end of the season, if Derby County avoid relegation, then Wayne Rooney should be the Championship manager of the year, just simply because of what he will have achieved to keep him up with he's been able to bring in, do a bit of wheeling and dealing, stuff like that. And look, I saw some.
So I'm looking at it now. He's 19 or 20 points away from safety, and they have got 24 games left. 24 games, 60. So there's possible 72 points. So it's very, very doable, especially in the form they're in. You know, they've won 4, they've drawn a lot. They've drawn the most in the league, which is 10. You know, you turn half of them 10 into wins, that's another 15 points. They've only lost 6. The people down there have lost 12, 10, 11. So it's very doable. Like there's 72 points to go, and they're only 19 and 20 points away from safety.
It's mad, mate. Sorry, your sound's gone, mate. It's gone completely, mate. You might have to go in and out. But yeah, just as we just wait for Rodri to fix that, ignore the sides of my house. It's my lovely wall to this side with some hearts, and by there's the green screen, which is kind of like falling apart. But yeah, I hope you're all well. It's I don't know what is going on with the old internet and StreamYard this week. It's all a bit up in the air, and I don't know. Cannot help that, unfortunately. The sooner we can get in a studio on a regular, the better. But don't forget to send your questions in, all that good stuff. Me and Rhodri are going to talk about the Ballon d'Or in a minute, and some of the people who should or shouldn't have got awards and things like this, and should Messi have gone.
Yeah, so there's 3 teams down there as well. So I tried them earbuds, like I told you. I forgot to get them earphones, and I tried them earbuds, and yeah, they lasted 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's much better. Nice and clear now, mate. Yeah, so it's like, look, if Wayne Rooney keeps him up, fantastic job. I think, to be honest, even if he, if they're close to staying up, I think that's pretty good effort. But if he stays up, that that makes him, in my opinion, the manager of the year in the Championship straight away.
That'd be no doubt in my mind. That'd be his best achievement in football, and I bet I guarantee he'd say that if it happens, because that's unbelievable. 21 points with, like I say, limited squad. He's pulled, Ravel Morrison, who is a great player, but he's been about, and he's been about for a reason. So, but Wayne Rooney will understand him more than anyone. So. Yeah. And he's getting the best out of him. He's getting the best out of the other players there. He's put Phil Jagielka, who's 37, Curtis Davis. So he's doing it with an experienced bunch, but it's a long old schlep. That championship, Saturday, Tuesday, travelling all over the gaff. Yeah, it's difficult. So to do that would be, without doubt, his best achievement.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think the biggest problem that they will have is they've got to hold on to all their players, and hopefully he can do a bit of wheeling and dealing, use his contacts to maybe get a loan or two, just something, just kind of get some bodies in there to strengthen the squad. It's going to be very, very difficult for him. But I think, he's got enough contacts with people that he'll be able to do a bit of something, even if it's,
Oh, yeah, but you've got to have the club's got to be in. It's doing liquidation or
administration, isn't it?
So they've got to come out of that before they can start dealing with transfers, mate. They can't.
But that's why I think they might sell players, isn't it?
I don't think they've got the players to sell. Who have they got to sell?
I don't know. I'd have to have a look at the squad.
Tom Lawrence looks like playing really well at the minute, scoring a lot of goals. Good goal. I know they got beat against, who was it? But he scored a really good goal.
It was a QPR.
QPR, yeah. But he looks lively. What's happened with him at Wales? I haven't seen him at Wales.
He hasn't been in the Wales squad for a while because we were saying last year, since he got dropped from that, I don't think he's been back in the squad, which I thought was, look, he obviously deserved to be dropped and everything, of course, but he kind of got his nose clean and then played very, very well. He's experienced as well. He was very good in the Championship last year. In fairness, he was one of the few Derby players who I thought did pretty well last year. However, he's on, a few people straight away have said he's on so much money that they think he'll probably be going. Apparently he's on about 37 grand a week, which means if he's on that much, Derby will sell him. They have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a weird one. Wales are picking, with no due respect, with all due respect, Rob said there, Wales are picking Tyler Roberts over Tom Lawrence. I think it's a weird one, but he got dropped for a kind of disciplinary reason. I think it is difficult to get your way back in after that, isn't it? Sometimes if you lose your place for that reason.
If you make a mistake, mate, what you do, you knuckle down and try and prove them wrong and get yourself sorted back on track, and that's what he's done. So everyone makes mistakes. Everyone, players,
yes, 100%,
managers. So yeah,
I'd have him at Cardiff, mate, on loan. I'd have him at Cardiff on loan to help out the youngsters. I think he'd be a great signing. So just looking at their squad from their starting lineup from Saturday, you've got Jagielka at the back there. You've got Ravel Morrison, Tom Lawrence up front with Knight. Who else is there? You got, and he signed a lot of experience, didn't he? Like Kazim Richards, Allsop, Sibley, Curtis Davis. I don't know. Outside of Tom Lawrence, I don't know how much the rest of them are on. I wouldn't want Tom Lawrence on 37 grand a week. I got to say. But I would take him on loan till the end of the season if they could work something out with the wages, just to add a bit of experience. He's in form. I would definitely take him because he's got that moment of magic in him. But we'll see. We'll see. I can't see Derby keeping him if he's on that much money. I got to be honest. But Derby are doing all right. Right. The Ballon d'Or, mate. Right, is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard in my life.
So why are we talking about it then?
Well, because
crap is a popularity
every year. Yeah, well, that's what it is, mate. Right? You cannot tell me that it's on last season, isn't it? Is it on last season or is it on the last 12 months?
I don't take any notice of it, mate, whatsoever.
But the players do, don't they? Rooney, Ronaldo, and Messi do. I don't think anyone else does. But if you could tell me, right, how on earth is Robert Lewandowski not the best?
This is what I mean. How is Messi? He's not doing anything.
He's been poor, mate. Messi has for the last year.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's not for me. Football's a team game. It's not an individual game. So I didn't really take much notice of stuff like this. Watch it or even.
I didn't watch it. but this is the Messi was number 1, Lewandowski number 2, Jorginho at Chelsea is supposedly the 3rd best player in the world. All right, he's had good, very, very, very good, but Benzema.
He's not even the top 50 of the best.
Benzema is 4th best player in the world according to it. Benzema, who Kante 5th, Ronaldo 6th, Salah 7th, De Bruyne 8th, Mbappe 9th, and Donnarumma 10th. I won't go through the rest of them, but then like Lukaku's 12th.
Yeah, where's Kevin De Bruyne? Where's
De Bruyne was 8th.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
It's shocking, mate.
Where's Haaland?
11th, just above Lukaku.
So you're telling me Jorginho's a better player than Eric Haaland?
Yeah, and Mbappe, and Salah, and Ronaldo, and
this is what I mean, mate. It's just a good situation. I need to talk about it. It's a load of crap, a load of FIFA, UEFA, round envelope, wink, wink, elbow, elbow.
They want Ronaldo or Messi to have it, don't they? They want one of them two to win it.
Yeah. Just,
and in my opinion,
you even had to create a new award so Lewandowski got something. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, because they knew he should have got it. For me, that's what frustrated me because
Striker of the Year award. You're the first to win it in 2021. Nice one.
Yeah, nice one. In other words, yeah, I made absolute load of crap. And I think the thing which annoyed me about it is like it gets portrayed as like this big, huge thing. And look, I get it. Messi and Ronaldo have won it so many times, deservedly. But this was the year where there was other footballers who deserved it over both of them. I think. I get the problem is they're bad.
Salah as well. Salah's,
I mean,
if they're going,
who would be your 3 best players in the last 12 months from around the world, just off the top of your head?
Salah, Lewandowski, and I'd say Kevin De Bruyne, but he's not had a great. But has he had a great? City won the league, so. Yeah, Salah,
Bonucci.
Salah, Lewandowski, Haaland, yeah.
So, they'd probably be my 3, and I think you could argue all day over Lewandowski and Salah as the winner, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then but then I think you kind of make an argument for Donnarumma. You can make an argument for Chiellini and Bonucci because of what they did in the Euros as well.
Yeah.
That does count towards it.
Jorginho, I understand it, won the Champions League, won the Euros.
Yeah,
so,
but Bruno Fernandes now in 21st. Come on, you're telling me that Bruno Fernandes is joint 21st with Martinez and Milan, but Benzema's 4th.
Yeah, like I say, it's ridiculous. It's not. It's just ridiculous.
Joke of it, but in my opinion, Lewandowski 100% should have had it, and that's why they
agree.
But it is what it is. Popularity contest, isn't it? What do you make of on the subject of popularity contests? I guess there's been a bit of a war of words this week between Patrice Evra yesterday and Jamie Carragher on the weekend, directed towards Ronaldo. Did you see what Patrice Evra said last night? I thought it was really interesting. So he basically, after the game last night, he said Ronaldo scored 802 goals in his career. Jamie Carragher played 745 games. He shouldn't be talking about Ronaldo and what he brings to the team, and kind of had a dug him out a little bit. Look, I think Jamie Carragher's one of the best pundits around. However, his bias towards Ronaldo, he finds difficult to hide.
No, but you've got to understand this character. You've got to understand his character as well. He's a wind-up merchant. Liverpool on fire. Liverpool are at fire, mate. There's so many, mate. There's so many ex-pros that are out there that are pundits that are scarred from Manchester United, from their whole playing career, and they can't wait to have digs. They can't wait. They are loving it at the minute, absolutely loving it. So you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. for a person like him to score, he was a person that played 700 odd games, and he is a very, very good pundit. But he scored more on goals than he did goals for his own team.
Yeah.
To criticise, saying, "Oh,
I just think it's a weird thing."
To be honest, he was half right, and Roy Keane was half right, but he was just trying to wind Roy Keane up.
Yeah,
Rio Ferdinand's right. He shouldn't be arguing with someone like Roy Keane, who's won multiple Premier League titles. Jamie Carragher's won 0.
And that's I think what people get lost in as well, mate. Is like Liverpool fans, United fans on social media. They all get sucked into it by TalkSport and Sky Sports, and this is what they want. They're purposely they're all mates. They're winding each other up to get a reaction and to kind of thing, because they want the social media things and that. Look, you can criticize United for a lot this year, a lot of players. For me, Ronaldo's probably one of the ones who's turned up every time he's played. He's worked hard for someone who's 36, who's and even last night, like for someone who's going to struggle with this new pressing game they're going to play under the German. He's running around like
people who tell me he doesn't run. He's just bollocks.
He's like probably the fittest player in the team.
He stopped running last night. It's not rubbish. It's crap. It's crap. You just got to work around it. To say, he's a hindrance. He is a problem, but a problem that you have in the team because he scores goals. He's your highest goal scorer by a long way. I think people have got like 3 or 2 or 3 or 4 goals. He's got 12 goals. So how can you say that is your problem? It's just ridiculous. You've just got to work around it. And I'm pretty sure Ralf Rangnick will work around it, because he does the hardest thing to do in the game, which is score goals.
Well, I think I'm anticipating that he's going to play the likes of your Lingards, your Rashfords, your Fernandes, all these different players that United.
No, Fred Thursday night, he was, he made so many mistakes, but he never stops working, never stops wanting the ball, never stops trying. But he just lacks that. We've been so blessed with quality midfielders, and that's our bar, what we're judging it by. So when Fred comes in there and he's nowhere near that, he's going to get stick, but you can see he's an honest lad, and he gets around the pitch, and which is what you need. But you just need someone to coach him and say, win the ball, 5-yard pass. There you go.
I don't know, mate. I don't think he's ever going to be a success at United. But maybe
I don't think he will, but he can do a job if he's coached the right way and told to do what his limitations let him do.
It'd be interesting to see, mate, what he does, how he does under someone like Ralf Rangnick, who's going to want him to really run around and press, because I think that might actually suit him a little bit better, to sort of run around, press, win the ball, and then just do a 2-yard pass to the side. It's going to be fascinating to see. I thought Arsenal, mate, they caused themselves so many problems all the time. Like, they on one minute they look very, very good, and I think, Arsenal, maybe there's some in there with Arteta, and then the next minute they're making just schoolboy errors and defensive errors and just little things that I just think, oh my God, they're miles off. I like Arteta. I want him to succeed. I'm just not sure if he's going to.
Oh, you can see what they're doing, and they've got a problem with limited quality at Arsenal. But it's if you coach the right way, there's triggers from Arsenal that you can get the ball back, because they do like to play out. So it's a dangerous game they play, but they did it well at some parts. But if you've got the quality of United as well, and you're winning the ball back such in high places. United have been guilty of that as well, playing out too much. Sometimes you just got to play. Sometimes you just got to clear your lines, and they don't. They persist on trying to play, and it's just easier for teams. Liverpool prey on teams doing that.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's kind of one of them. Who you got, mate, in the league now? Like, if I asked you had to put money on it now, who's going to win the league? Who would you put it on?
Oh God,
Like, for me, I think Liverpool look the best team at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you, but unfortunately, the league's not won in December. It's won in May. So, and we've all slept on City last year. They just keep winning, keep going about business. They've got £100 million player sat on the bench because of the quality they've got. So, yeah, Manchester City for me still.
Do you know what? I think if Man City pick up the 29th best footballer in the world in Harry Kane, then for 100 million, then they'll probably win the league. No, I think if they sign an out-and-out striker who hits the ground running in January, then I believe that they're going to really... I think they could like run away with it in the latter part of the year. I do think Liverpool are the best team at the moment. However, I also think Liverpool have got quite a relatively small squad of the genuine top players that they've got. I'm not sure if they've got enough, but but they may sign some players in January as well, which obviously could help them out a lot. Sorry, mate, my internet's gone a bit funny, so I'm going to switch over to my phone in a minute. But just in general, mate, what stood out for you from the football world this week? Newcastle and Eddie Howe are not doing particularly great since Eddie Howe's gone in there. Have you seen much of them? Have you seen any improvement under Eddie Howe?
Well, they've been unlucky, haven't they? They got a man sent off after 9 minutes. They've gone 1-0 up and they've held out to the 80-odd minutes. So, you can see progress, but, what is progress there? You're not going to get much out of them or more than what Steve Bruce did. So you need quality and you need injection of players, quality players to turn Newcastle around. You're going to get the fight and the endeavour, but it's not been ideal. He's come in, he wants to get in first game, but then he can't go because he's got COVID. So so it's been a slow start, but you can see them. They're scoring goals. They're a little bit more attacking. So
just bringing myself in and out. Right. So it's a weird one, mate, with Newcastle. I think it depends on who they sign. One of the people, or one of the things we didn't mention was Chelsea. I think they've been pretty good. It'd be interesting now to see where they go, what they do, because I think they got a fantastic squad. But Craig makes a great point in the chat. He says Liverpool and Chelsea may struggle when the African nations comes around because they've got quite a few players involved in that tournament. So it's going to be
Chelsea
interesting in the Premier League, I think definitely.
I think Chelsea. I don't think Liverpool have. They got Mane, but no, that's it. I think. City. Who's City got in the African nations? They've probably only got one or two, but Chelsea probably got a few more. Chelsea probably got a few more, so they'll struggle. I don't think United have got any that'll be going to the African Cup of Nations. So, it's going to be a lot of stuff you put on the players this year with the obviously the league, the African Nations Cup, and then obviously the World Cup will be in November. So it's a lot of stuff. This is what I'm talking about cardiac arrest and putting pressure on too much of people's body. When you've got an African Nations in early of the year, then you've got a full league, and then you've got a World Cup in that year as well in November in a place that's a desert basically. So it's going to be hot. It's going to be tiring on the body.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal, mate, isn't it? It's going to be really, really difficult on those footballers. Liverpool obviously lose Salah as well, which I think is that's less. We just said he's probably our pick for the best footballer in the world.
Salah misses Mane and Salah. I forgot about Salah. He's in Egypt, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think we just said how highly we rate him, how well he's playing. That is going to be massive.
It's not like a Euros, or it's not like a 5 week. It's like a 3 weeks things. The African nations in it. It's not.
I'm not 100% sure. I think it goes for the full length of January. Like, so.
Oh, does it?
I think that it does. It can do a lot of damage to teams and their form and their run.
100%. Especially you got 2/3 of your strike force out. And most your goals and assists come from that right there. But Henderson started to come back into his own now. He's starting to pick up his. You still got Firmino, Jota's picked it up as well now. So you have Origa. You've still got Origa who could come in and do a job now and again. But it will affect him, no doubt.
Who and like. I'm sure Gavin or someone in the chat might be able to say, because I haven't got access to my computer as normal. But I know, like, who would Liverpool bring in when Mane and Salah are out? Like, who are their strikers going to be? You got Firmino, haven't you? Who else have we got there?
You got the Japanese. The Japanese, is it Amoto as well?
All right, yeah, he's supposed to be quite highly rated, isn't he?
Yeah,
from what I heard.
It'll still affect him. It's the top goal scorer, and Mane's no more as well, so it definitely will affect him, 100%.
That's
you have to see who they're playing. Imagine they're playing like City or Chelsea in that space, because that's when they'll definitely need him.
Yeah, God, if they've got some of those big games at that time, that'd be really, really problematic for them, couldn't it? Like, because you're just talking like. They're the runs that time of year is when you really make or break the season, sort of thing, isn't it? So yeah, that's going to be interesting. What did you make of Michael Carrick leaving United sort of abruptly after that game yesterday? That was a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, kind of respect him a little bit more now. He's held the fort, and he's gone with his mate Ollie, which. And what he said, you can understand. And 30 years is a long time being in football, and he's probably time's right for him. But I do respect him a lot more. I do think he should have gone with Ollie, but he's obviously thought to himself, "I'll see these games out till the interim comes in, and then he's off." So he's obviously made a decision a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago. So it's not a knee-jerk reaction, and. Yeah, I wish him well. He's been a good servant. I'm pretty sure he'll be back, welcome at the club whenever he wants. Because, like I say, he was a great servant, great player for us, and he did a good job as interim. Just a pity he couldn't have done better as a coach with Ollie. But they did have a good run. They were on I don't know how many away wins, which is a league record, it's a club record. So. To go over 30 games unbeaten, is no mean feat. So yeah, like I say, he's a fantastic servant of the club, and I wish him well.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of them. I wonder whether he took it because a lot of people said he should have gone with Ollie, and he should, his coaching staff should have gone with him, etc., etc. But you got to respect him, like. The football club, which he's been at for the last 15 years, they needed him. They needed him to see it through. And he did. And I think that deserves a lot of respect. He could have gone, but the football club needed him. So I guess it is what it is. But I don't think he did his reputation any harm whatsoever, because ultimately this past week, or the 3 or 4 games that he was in charge of, that could have gone badly wrong for United, and he's come out of it. I think he's probably done himself a few favours in terms of his reputation as a coach. I'm not saying he's going to go and get a big, huge job, but he certainly hasn't done any harm to his reputation. Craig Sullivan's been on the case, mate, and depending on how the tournament pans out, players can miss potentially 8 games through the African nations. And like you say, you chuck like a Man City and a Chelsea during that period, say 2 big games, United or whoever, like that could be really, really problematic for any team. So what we'll do, mate, is this week we'll have a good study of what clubs have got who, and we'll kind of break that down. Garen Cole says, Firmino, Jota, Origi. It's not a bad forward line, is it? I mean, for a second choice forward line, it's not bad at all, is it? I actually think Jota, he's been very, very. I thought he was quite disrespected when he went in at Liverpool. First of all, people making out like he's this donkey who can't play football. Guy's a really good footballer. Has scored a bag of goals, and certainly has done very well for Liverpool already this year. And I think he'll continue to do so. It's just whether he can keep on doing it. Kind of once they lose a few players who maybe are his supply line. You muted, mate.
2nd of January, Chelsea, Liverpool. 13th, Liverpool, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, then Liverpool, Leicester, Burnley, Liverpool. Depends which one. And they've got Arsenal late February, so
some big games that is, mate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chelsea and Liverpool, they'll be all right for that because it's the 2nd of January. I don't know if they get called up like a week or 10 days before. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a problem for them anyway, especially Liverpool now. With but yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's funny, like the people in the chat saying like it's musical chairs. It's like one in, one out at the moment. Yeah, I really do apologize. It's completely on my end. I don't know what is going on with my computer, so I've had to switch to my phone. But we're managing it as best we can. Obviously, as we come towards the last,
I just had to get up because I had a smell and the dog shit at the door, so I had to clean it up.
Yeah, nightmare.
I've got like these puppy pads. They put on the puppy pad, but I could smell it coming through the door. What's that smell? So I had to go and
yeah, you got to get ready. Don't want to sit there.
I'm getting out of my chair, but I had to clean up some shit because it's done.
As reasons go. As reasons go, it's a pretty good one, isn't it? Let's be honest. I'm going to just throw my computer, I think, in the bin. It's just one of those things. I'm just gonna. I don't know what. It's just. I'm all over the place.
Live podcast. It's real TV. What do you want?
Yeah, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. I haven't got a producer and people stood by doing it for me, so I got to try and manage it all at the same time. But yeah, it is what it is, mate. If people have got any questions, get them in. Donna says, "What does Rodri do for a job these days, apart from podcast, or is it all podcasts?"
No, I've been coaching recently, actually. Coaching. So, yeah, coaching recently.
So,
but I've done a lot of things. Like I say, I think I'm pretty sure I've got an HGV license. I've had that for 20 years. I always keep that up to date, so I can do that if I want to do that. But if I do that, it's an early start. But I'd do it if I have to. But at the minute, I'm doing coaching.
Good stuff, mate. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's have a look. What else we got in the comments? You'll have to bear with me, guys. I can't put the comments on the screen at the moment. Let's have a look. Rodri got his golf top on. Did you have a good game today, Craig Sullivan?
I didn't play golf today. I should have played at 11:30, but it was a busy day, so I called it off. It was yesterday I played. So, but I had the attire on ready, but I didn't play. I had a few things I had to do, and then my lad plays football, training on a Friday, so rushing about, and there's traffic getting back in, and so no golf today.
Yeah. So, well, I can't do predictions because I can't bring up the games, unfortunately.
Well,
so
I'll bring them up. Which games do you want?
So just pick a couple of Premier League games. The United game, Cardiff.
West Ham, Chelsea.
Oof, that's going to be a tasty one. West Ham have gone off a cliff a bit in the last couple of weeks, which Leslie predicted in the chat. Let's go with. I'm going to go with 1-1. I think they're going to get a draw there.
I'm going to go West Ham 2-1.
West Ham 2-1, like it.
Mind you, Lukaku's back in it. No, United, yeah, 2-1. Still not up to match pace. So yeah, 2-1.
It's good. What's next?
We'll go next one. Newcastle Burnley.
Oh, that's a tricky one. Eddie Howe back to Burnley. Is it at Burnley or Newcastle?
No, it's at St James Park.
Oh, I think we'll go with. I think Eddie Howe's going to have him up for that because he's going to want to prove a point. We'll go with 2-1 Newcastle.
I will go with a 2-2 draw there.
Like it.
2-2 draw. And the next game, I'll miss. Mind you, Southampton Brighton. Go that one. That's a tricky one as well.
Ooh, Brighton as well. See, they started off so well.
Southampton this year.
I'll go. I'm going to go with 1-1. Yeah, 1-1. Sit on the fence for that one. I think.
Yeah, I want to go Brighton 1-0.
That's what I was leaning on, and then I was like,
Yeah, cheers, Si. Wolves Liverpool.
Oh, 4-0 Wolves every day of the week. No, I think 4-2 Liverpool. I think that's going to be a high scorer.
I'm going to go 1-1. No draws again. And the last one, Watford against Manchester City.
Watford are going to go in physical like they did in a few games recently, and then it'll be whether Man City can really get to it. I think they should have enough, so we'll go with 3-1 Man City.
4-0 Manchester City.
Oof.
4-0,
Craig Sullivan says, "Are you doing your Super Six while you're looking at those games?"
No. I've done them in the week.
I got to do mine actually. Leslie says, "Give us a Middlesbrough versus Swansea prediction." Oh, Middlesbrough 6-0 every day of the week.
Middlesbrough, yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, Middlesbrough, I think 2.
Who's Cardiff, Sheffield United? Oh, that's a difficult one, isn't it?
Is that at Sheffield United or Cardiff?
No, it's at Cardiff.
That's going to be difficult, that is, because the Sheffield United squad will be galvanised by what happened to Fleck. I think that can't be underestimated. When something like that happens, the squad pulls together. Cardiff is not great at home as well. I'm not going to go against Cardiff. We know that by now. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw, eh?
Yeah.
Leave Sundays out.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah. No.
You got the pick.
No.
So last chance if anyone wants to get any questions in. Leslie says there was a stat today. It said no team has avoided relegation when they have not won a game in the first 14, and they have not won in 14. Newcastle. Every team has been relegated. Wow, that is one hell of a stat. One hell of a stat.
That stat will be broken.
1 year, someone will break it, won't they? Do you think Newcastle will break it?
Newcastle won't get relegated.
What's the bottom three at the moment in the Premier League? Have you got that?
It is bottom three is Newcastle bottom with 7 points, Norwich on 10, Burnley on 10, Watford on 13, Southampton, Leeds, Everton on 15. So literally 2 wins and you're out of it.
Yeah, out of those teams, I think.
Like they're on their own. They're 1 win away from being out of it.
Yeah, I think out of those teams, I think you've got. I think Leeds go down. Who else was there? It was Norwich go down.
You've got to keep an eye on Brentford as well.
I don't think Brentford go down. I think the 3 teams which will go down will be Norwich, Burnley, and
Leeds. When you get in the Premier League, it's all hunky-dory in that. But, as the season goes on, injuries, games come on. I'm just saying keep an eye on it, that's all. I don't think they will.
Yeah.
It's just something to keep an eye on. But I think, Watford, Norwich. I fear for Burnley this year as well, but...
Yeah, I think Norwich, Burnley and Leeds
I
go down.
do think they'll get out, but Leeds don't look great.
Leeds just defensively look all over the place some weeks.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they look all right, and then next week they look as if they could concede about 17. They just look dreadful. So I'd go. My choice now, if you ask me today, would be Norwich, Burnley, and Leeds to go up, and I think the top 4 would be probably just United in for West Ham at 4th. I just think when I look at it, I look at how far Leicester are off the top 4. I look at Arsenal play, the way Arsenal and Tottenham are playing. West Ham seem to be starting to drop, and I look at United bringing in Rangick, and I know. So they've been linked with this central midfielder.
West Ham play Chelsea Saturday, so if they get beat there and then United win, United on the same points as West Ham.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I think out of all those teams in and around that area, United to me look the most likely to bet that 4th place.
Which is really I think important. Let me just check.
Well, that's interesting. Lorna says Norwich played well this week. They just missed a lot of chances, and I think that's their problem, isn't it? They haven't got a striker to go and get them 15 goals between now and the end of the season.
See, United's next fixtures, as what I was trying to say, Crystal Palace, Young Boys at home, Norwich, Brentford, Brighton at home, Newcastle, Burnley, Wolves, Villa, then West Ham, then Burnley, then Southampton, then Leeds, then Watford again. Until the 26th of February, they don't play Manchester City. The rest, they're just like you'd expect.
The thing is, mate, right? Years ago, all those teams you just named, you'd expect United to win 99% of those games comfortably, and this is why I don't rule them out making a late run for 4th or 3rd.
I don't. I think if you get confidence into this bunch, they're just lacking a bit of confidence at the minute, and you get some confidence into this bunch, and they get the tails behind them. People won't want to play them, especially if it turns around, the work rate steps up, and people are pressing, and they're all working together, and everything that comes together that we suspect will happen with this coach because he's quite diligent. So, yeah, it's, people say, oh, we can't expect a big turn around straight away. Why not? Thomas Tuchel come in and they won Champions League.
Yeah.
Once. So, yes, be realistic, but, yes, be realistic as well. Look at the players you've got. Martial, Greenwood, Ronaldo, Cavani, Sancho, Lingard.
It's endless, isn't it?
Yeah,
and that's not even including those younger players who haven't got a look in yet, who were highly rated, like Pelistri and the other one. I forgot his name.
I think Dala and Tellez might get more game time. They did okay, but imagine what they're like with 5 or 6 games under the belt. I'm pretty dubious about that Dalot, but I'd rather create more. I don't think he's as strong defensively as Wan-Bissaka is, but Wan-Bissaka is just going forward. He's just a non-starter. So
yeah.
So
I text you the other. I think it was the day before the Arsenal game, and someone told me who would know, or at least is fairly reliable in terms of what they get told. And he said that Amadou Haidara from Red Bull Leipzig is going to United, and is pretty much done. It was a dream move. The player has kind of dreamt of it or whatever, so it was very simple to do. And apparently, because Declan Rice was so expensive, he was already on United's list of sort of players. And then when Rangick came in, or when they started speaking to him, that was one of the players he said straight away. And I think they're expecting him to come in early in January. And
where does he play?
Defensive midfield. And how many times this year, mate, when we've talked about United, have we said that they're like one world-class defensive midfielder from everything kind of clicking together? Whether that he's the guy, I've no idea. I'm sure there's people who watch in the chat and stuff who are more familiar with Haidara from Red Bull, but by all accounts, he's highly rated. He's young. He's 23. So Red Bull bought him to replace the guy who went to Liverpool. I forgot his name. Naby
Keita.
Yes. So he was the replacement for him. So it'll be interesting, mate, if that rumor comes out to be true, because I do think, like you've said, that squad is so deep and is so full of these, on their day, world-class footballers. If you find the right combination of manager, coaches, players, that one guy who just gels it all together, all of a sudden you've got this team who are confident, which is deep, who I think they could go and do something like Thomas Tuchel did at Chelsea. I don't think is unrealistic, but you could also see him struggling a bit like they have with consistency and stuff like that. It's just finding that gel. Is Ralf Rangnick the guy? Look, I seen a lot of people like on Amazon last night after the game. Evra and who was it? It was Evra, Shearer, and Thierry Henry were kind of questioning it, saying Ralf Rangnick has only won a handful of cups. He's never won a league. But like what he has done is he's built teams to go on and after he's left, go and win leagues, get promoted, etc., etc. And United have tried the guys who've won everything, like Mourinho and Van Gaal. They've tried Solskjaer, are very, very inexperienced. So why not go to someone who?
Yeah, they contradict themselves. They contradict themselves because producer would talk about Pochettino.
Oh, mate, don't get me started.
He hasn't won a bean, so yeah.
Well, he was the name they kept mentioning.
Leipzig were non-existent, and now they're a Champions League outfit. It's down to him. Same with Schalke. So the projects he's done, yes, he's not won anything, but he's literally turned clubs round to be Champions League contenders every year. Now to do that, it takes a lot of work, and but 6 months is not a lot of time. So
well, interestingly, mate, you called this a couple of weeks ago when we first started talking about him with this 6 month deal. He said in his press conference today, first press conference, he's going to advise the club on who should get the job full time. And he said, if in 6 months' time, I think I am the best man for the job, then that's what I will say. So, like, if he goes on a stupid run now of winning, 20 games or whatever, and they finish second and they win a cup, then of course he's going to stay on. I still say my shout of him moving upstairs with Ten Hag taking over in the summer is the most likely to happen. That's what my opinion is still. I think if they were going to do Pochettino, then they wouldn't have brought in someone like this who's going to build something for the future. They would have brought in, I don't know who, but like someone who's literally just going to be there for 6 months, not someone who's going to try and build something. Because why would you do that if Pochettino is going to come in and tear it all apart to do his thing? It doesn't make any sense to me anyway, but you're muted, mate.
Like I say, if he comes in and does well, there's no way he's getting rid of him. It has to be attacking, football that is preaching, and it's not nothing new from when I even played when it was 4-4-2. It's just a different setup. Your defending starts from the front, so it's just a different way of doing it, and we'll see if the players buy into it, and we'll. The results start changing. It could have been a lot different if he joined 2 weeks ago, because they're in turmoil now. They've just, they've won 2 out of the last 3 games, and they're drawn with Chelsea as well in them 3 games. So, they're kind of a bit more in a better mind space, the players, than they would have been 2 weeks ago after getting drubbed off Watford 4-1.
Yeah, 100%. It's just one of those, mate, isn't it? I think Another thing, Craig makes GD Parry, sorry, makes a good point there. He says it took 36 to 7 years to get United where he wanted them, and I think the other thing
yes, it did, but Fergie didn't spend 500 million in 2-3 years. You know, I'm pretty sure if you had 500 million quid, it would have had a different outcome. So, you know,
it was a different world, wasn't it, in terms of finances?
Yeah.
But then equally, mate, I didn't agree with what Patrice Evra said. Patrice Evra said, "Why are they bringing in someone who's going to do this Gengham pressing type play? What is
going that crap. I don't know where you're going with this. All that United way, it's over.
Yeah.
It's finished. You just need to be attacking football. Don't play that way anymore. It's just attacking football, and that's what that Gengham press is. So it's just like I say, it's nothing new. It's just maybe Roy Keane. What Roy Keane was saying. Patrick Evers, you know, he's not in that boys' club. He's been in at United roundabouts, and now he's out of there. Maybe his nose is out of joint, so he wants a little digging. You don't know where these actually been, because, you know, what do you want? But Mourinho again with his part of the bus routine, or no, come on,
it's bad, mate.
You know, he's established coach. He's been about the block, and yes, he's not proven, you know, a top club. But his resume and his CV is second to none. I liked his interview. You know, I've got MUTV, so I watched his interview live. Not this morning. It comes on at 1 o'clock, so I watched it at 1 o'clock. So yeah, it was. Is it all what he said in his interview? Like what you just said there, when he said, you know, if I think it's good that me to stay on, then that's what I'll recommend, and that's what he's probably aiming for. But, you know, like you say, it's all hypothetical at the minute. He's just got to do what he says, and I'm pretty sure he'll get what he wants.
Yeah, he spoke very, very well, in fairness. He talked about how he was going to coach Ronaldo. He spoke all these different things. I thought it was very. He seems like he's very similar to
very detailed, very
you
know, astute. Obviously knows the game. He's obviously knows Manchester United. He's done his homework. So yeah, he's not going in there blind. Like he said in his press conference, he's already watched multiple games of the last 10 games, so he knows all about it. And he's probably got his own assessment of it, and he'll probably go into training and implement that as quickly as possible. Yes, he's only got one training session, so he's not going to do it overnight. But, you know, within end of February, end of March, you should see the signs of that, and hopefully when you start playing the better sides, then that's when you'll need it most. When you're playing against the teams I've just mentioned before, yes, you know, there's still good teams, but, you know, Manchester United of late, or I mean of the past, would see these teams off no problem, and that's what we need to get back to, and that's what I'm sure he's looking for.
Yeah, and ultimately, mate, if the players buy into it, that's what will be the difference between whether it works or not. And
well, that's another thing. The players have to buy into it, because, you know, like I say, Roy Keane said again, these players have thrown 2 managers under the bus now, so you have to be careful. You know, Paul Pogba's still at the what's going to happen with him? How's he going to Gengham press? No, So it's all the players have got to buy into it. If they don't, you got to get these bad eggs out. But, you know, Paul Pogba's got the same length contract as the manager, so
that is fascinating. That is, isn't it? Do you think? I just think Pogba's going to end up going on a free. I just think, unless United pull off something miraculous between now and the end of the season on the pitch, where they go and win the Champions League or they win the league.
Because if they go on now, win all them games, like 8 to 10 games before they play City in February, late February, and then you've got Paul Pogba coming back into that side. Yeah, it's
an interesting prospect for sure, mate.
And this player that you're talking about comes in and helps him, release him doing what he can do. Like he has that freedom in France. Maybe get the Paul Pogba of France and not the Paul Pogba of late, which has been in and out of the last year. The year before, I thought he was he was okay. He done all right for us, but yeah, he's been in and out this month. Well, this is the first game he had 3-4 assists, so we just need to multiply that. But yeah, it's difficult. He's injured. He's got a bad thigh injury.
Yeah, indeed, mate. Hey, guys, again, I apologise for my connection issues. Can't do anything about it. It's live. It is
I
what it
apologise
is.
for getting on the seat, but like,
Yeah, how dare you, Rodri? What are you playing at? Why didn't you just let the dog's mess fester next to you?
Yeah, just the aroma fly around my house. Right.
Guys, have a fantastic weekend. We will be back next Friday, and I'll fix my computer in some form.
You look at him. Look at him scratching. Look at him scratching the window.
Happy with himself. See? Yeah, look at him.
Naughty boy, he is naughty.
Still sleeping in the snow tonight. I'll be back on Sunday for an all-new Danny Batten Fight show. We're joined by former UFC star Modestas Bukauskas. Monday evening, I am joined by Ben Doherty for My Story Extra. So make sure you've watched My Story from this past Wednesday with Ben, so that we can you can fire some questions at him on the live show Monday. Next Wednesday is the Danny Batten My Story, which is going to be a very interesting one, I can tell you, because I've already recorded it. And then Friday, me and Rodri will be back. And I'm hoping to do some other bits and pieces, so maybe some live Instagrams and some stuff. So have a little look out for that over the next week and stuff. Be talking all sorts of stuff. Huge shout out again to Phil Dwyer's family, friends, former teammates, all that stuff. And of course, just rest in peace, Phil. And big shout out to you, my friend. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's been a pleasure. Rodri, nice one, my friend. I'll speak to you on the weekend. And have a good one, my friends. Good night.
Giggs. Giggs. No. Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at? It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up, matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. Do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Like scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy car cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, give money, then we lay low.